Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the next video in the incoming student series. We are so excited to have you all joining our St. Mary's community in the fall here. And my name is Jessica Stenz, and I'm one of the admissions counselors here at St. Mary's. And with me today is Mark Taparene, and he is with our business office. So he'll be kind of going through a 10 to 15-minute presentation, and then we'll leave time at the end for a quick question and answer time, as well as a trivia question that you do not want to miss. So be sure to stick around for that. And without further ado, I'm going to pass the microphone over to Mark.
Thanks, Jessica. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Taparene. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Accounts in the business office here at St. Mary's College. And we'll be talking a little bit today about how we serve our students in our community in the business office. We'll talk about a few certain important dates coming up, different payment options and billing here at St. Mary's. I'm going to try to go into detail a little bit more about the payment plan option that we have. And then I'll just highlight a few other topics that will be coming up and useful to you in the next few months. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll go through a few slides here. All right. And is everything still looking good, Jessica?
Looks good, Mark.
Okay, cool. All right, so while you're here at St. Mary's, you'll sometimes hear the business office, you'll sometimes hear student accounts. They're kind of used interchangeably these days. The student accounts department, that's pretty much, where, actually, let me go to the next slide here. Here's a little breakdown of a few things that we do here in the business office. We maintain all of our student accounts. So all the financial transactions that go into your account, we monitor them and maintain them for you. We'll field questions regarding billing and financial transactions. We're pretty much the accounts receivables department for the school. We launched the e-bills for our students, process student refunds, and we create student ID cards. I want to definitely highlight our contact information. If there's one thing that you remember from today, is definitely make sure to contact us if you have any questions related to your finances. We're definitely here to help. We know sometimes it can be confusing, it could be stressful at times as well. So please do not hesitate to contact us if you should ever have any questions related to your student account. We're located in Philippi Administrative Hall. So once you come into the campus and you're at that guard station, we're that first building on the left corner. You can see our phone number and email address there, and we're typically open 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. Sometimes in the summer, we're open until 4 on Fridays. So keep that in mind if you are trying to reach us on a Friday. All right, so a few important dates that I did want to mention, and I'm sure you all will be attending the orientations coming in June. So we'll be definitely going into detail with the things that I'm mentioning today, and we'll be definitely reiterating these things and reminding the families of these important dates that are coming up. But here at the end of May, our insurance waiver period begins. So we'll be sending out an email to all of our students, letting them know that they can waive the medical insurance. We'll be talking a little bit more about the medical insurance. Students are required to have medical insurance when they're attending St. Mary's as an undergraduate student. But you can definitely use your family's medical coverage if you're on there. There's just a certain period of time throughout the year that you have to waive the medical insurance. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a couple slides. Starting June 1st, we'll be opening up a 5-month payment plan. So undergraduates do have some payment plan options available, and the one that extends the payments the most is the 5-month payment plan. So you do have to start that one in June, at some point in June, and that'll help spread your payments throughout 5 months to maybe make it a little more manageable for the family to make the monthly payments. Come around July 5th, we're going to be launching our e-bills for the fall 2021 semester. So keep an eye open for an e-bill notice. Our main method of communication is via email, and the bills are sent electronically. So definitely take a look at that email that you're going to receive. It's going to be sent to the students. Definitely want to stress, I know parents, family members, there's always people that definitely help out with payments. And if you'd like to put them in the loop, you have to set them up as an authorized user. So we'll talk a little bit more about that down the road, but definitely keep in mind if you'd like your parent to receive an e-bill notice as well, you'll go into your student account center and set them up that way. Okay, so then we're going to launch the bill around July 5th, and the due date for the fall semester is going to be August 15th. So you'll get the bill July 5th for the fall semester, and if you're not on the payment plan, then payment in full would be August 5th. Also on August 5th will be the deadline for the insurance waiver. And then just to give you a heads up, an idea of how it'll work in the spring semester, around December 6th, we'll be launching the spring 2022 e-bill. And the due date for that will be most likely January 15th, 2022. Okay, so a little bit more about the medical insurance. Like I mentioned, all full-time undergraduate students are required to have medical insurance. St. Mary's will automatically provide the medical insurance to all of their students, and it'll be reflected on your bill as well. Now, families are eligible to waive the school-sponsored medical coverage if they have comparable coverage. So you do have to do that during the fall semester. Otherwise, you get charged in the fall and the spring. If for some reason you missed the August 15th due date, and you remember when you get your bill in the spring, because the charge is still there, it's going to be too late to waive that medical insurance coverage. So we'll be sending out more notices and reminders about it. We definitely don't want anybody to miss out on that opportunity. But as you get started here at St. Mary's, keep in mind, you do have to do this every year. And it's done in the fall semester. So always kind of keep that in mind, that in the fall you waive the medical coverage for the full year. And again, it's going to be August 15th for the deadline to waive it. You can see the website that you'll end up going to. But like I said, we're going to send you all this information. We'll talk about it in the orientation, and we're going to send very detailed information during our e-bill as well. Okay, so I briefly mentioned the Student Account Center. This is our online platform where students are able to view their bill. They're able to make their payments, enroll in payment plans. They can make deposit payments, and that's where they add authorized users as well. So this is all an online platform that you go in through My SMC and click on Gale Express, and in your Gale Express menu, you'll locate the Student Account Center where all your finances can be found. All right, so a few payment options here in the business office in the Student Accounts Department. We accept cash or check in the business office. You can also mail us a check. You can see the address that you'd want to send it to. You'd want to make sure to use that PMB 4600 that you see. Online, it will be the e-check payments. So if you want to make a payment online, it's through a savings or checking account. So you just need the routing number and the bank account number for that account, and you make the payment online. And then we do have a 5, 4, and 3-month payment plan option. So it's $75 to enroll in the payment plan and take advantage of it. It is an option. You don't have to use it, but if you did want to use it, the setup fee is $75. And you'd set up if you wanted to do the 5-month payment plan, you'd set it up in June. You might have heard or you might have noticed in the important dates that I mentioned, that we don't launch the bill until July. So it can be a little tricky setting up a 5-month payment plan in June if you don't have all the exact figures in front of you. But this is definitely one of those things where please give us a call and we gladly take a look at your account and see if we can get that ball rolling with at least some estimated numbers for you. You can definitely wait until July once you get the e-bill and set up the payment plan at that point, but it would be a 4-month payment plan. And then we do have a 3-month payment plan in August as well. If we get to that point in August and you need the payment plan, it's a 3-month payment plan. All the payment plans end October 15th. And please note, credit cards are not accepted as a form of payment for tuition and fees. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind as well. Okay, so I did want to go into a little more detail with the payment plan. It's definitely something that many families use to help ease the payments a little bit and spread out the balance. So this would be done through that student account center that I was mentioning, and kind of wanted to just show you a few different screens so you can kind of get an idea of how it'll work. So once you go to Gale Express and you click on the student account center, you're going to click on enroll in a payment plan, and you're going to select fall semester 2021. And you can kind of see the screen here. I apologize, still have spring semester for the screenshot, but I promise you'll be able to see fall semester 2021 there. And then you'll just click on select and continue. Then it's going to give you a worksheet, and this can definitely be tricky at times if you don't have a bill in front of you. If you wait until July, once you do get the bill and you want to set up the payment plan, I highly advise having the bill available, and it'll make it a lot easier to set it up. But like I said, also, you can give us a call and we can help you out with that. So here you kind of input in a worksheet all of your charges, anything that might apply in the tuition charge, the activity fee, room and board, and then any financial aid that you might have, you'll include down here at the bottom box right here. So you can kind of see here, you input the information that you have, and then you'll click on update schedule. So that will break down your payments, and you'll be able to see it on the right, the different, the number of payments, when they're due, and the amounts for each of them. It'll also give you the option to set up automatic payments. You definitely don't have to do that, but if you did want to save your banking information into the account, we can save it, and then on the 15th of each month, it'll automatically deduct it from your bank account. You definitely don't have to do that. You'll just have to remember to log in around the 15th of each month and make the payment. And then just some final notes to kind of recap everything. Please make sure to check your St. Mary's email. That's our main method of communication. You know, if it says, you know, business office of St. Mary's, you know, there's typically some kind of action that's required. We're letting you know about something in terms of your finances. So please take a look, and at the very least respond and ask what it's about, and we can go into detail and kind of guide you, let you know exactly where we're at with everything. But please check your SMC email regularly. Also, those authorized users, make sure that you set up any parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, you know, anybody that would help you with your tuition payments, and you'd like them to receive an e-bill as well. You would go to the Student Account Center and set up the authorized users there. August 15th is going to be that due date for the medical insurance. Also, we are pushing e-reimbursement, you know, especially you know, how everything is kind of remote these days. So if you're working with the financial aid department and you have, and you work with them and you set up a payment plan, a financial aid package that not only covers tuition, but maybe your living expenses or you know, anything related to school, you know, rent and stuff like that, that will generate a refund for you. And so in the business office, we'll cut those refunds, and the default is a check, but through the Student Account Center and Gal Express, you could set up e-reimbursement, and we'll provide step-by-step instructions on that when we send the e-bill. We'll talk about it again in the orientation, but definitely want to keep that in mind, that there is a e-reimbursement option where you get your refunds directly deposited into your bank account. Also, just wanted to, just mention, my holds and approvals. Once you start getting comfortable with the Gale Express and the different things that you can see there, one of the things you want to monitor is the my holds and approvals. Anytime a registration comes, you definitely want to take a look at that before. Make sure you don't have any holds. Make sure your student account is clear and ready to go. So that's definitely a section in Gale Express that you'll want to, stay on top of. One more time, I wanted to just reiterate the 5-month payment plan starting in June and the 4-month payment plan starting in July. And like I said before, if you ever have any questions, we're definitely here to help. Please don't hesitate to contact the business office if you have any other questions. Well, thank you. And yeah, any questions that we might have?
Thank you so much, Mark. That was so comprehensive and just a really great way to kind of get it all on a couple of slides there. We've had a couple of questions already come in. And this is kind of more the admission side, so I can answer this one. This is a question about, do I have to accept my scholarships offered manually, or is it automatically accepted because I've deposited and I'm attending? When it comes to your merit scholarships, this could be a Cordero scholarship, a presidential scholarship. These are all merit-based. And when you said that, hey, I'm coming to St. Mary's, those are automatically accepted. When it comes to accepting different loans or different other things that you may have been offered, we ask that you please get in contact with the financial aid office, because they'll be able to help you the best there. We will be having a financial aid office presentation coming up on June 2nd in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned with that. Our next question is for you, Mark, and this might also be from more of the Health and Wellness Center, but let's see if you know the answer. The question is, if the medical insurance is a one-time payment each year of $3,000 approximately.
So good question. So it's actually broke down into 2 payments. So you pay the amount that I quoted on my slide. It was about $3,600. Half of that is billed in the fall, and half of that will be billed in the spring. So if you do want to take advantage of the medical insurance, we do bill it half and half. So half in the fall, half in the spring. Mm-hmm.
Great. And then this is kind of just answered. The question is if the health insurance is already included in our tuition or separate.
Right. So yeah, right off the bat, it is included. As on the bill. So you would see a tuition charge, and then you'd also see the medical insurance charge. So that is something that is billed right off the bat, and then because the students are required to have the medical coverage. But then once it's on the bill, we can definitely get it off by waiving it by August 15th. Mm-hmm.
Great. And Mark, that screen that you showed, it kind of looked like a worksheet where you were able to perhaps say, I want to do the 5-month payment plan. If I choose this is what the payments I can expect to be. And that all lives on the student or the payment portal. Or what do you call that? What's the proper term?
That's a student account center.
Okay.
The student account. Yeah. Yes. So the student account center is where you set up the payment plan and where that worksheet will pop up. That student account center is also where you can pull up your most recent statement, and you can have that maybe as one of the tabs as you go back and forth and input the worksheet, the information into the worksheet. So yeah, all that information will be located in the student account center.
Wonderful. We have a couple of questions about a 529 plan.
Sure. What was there a particular question about it? We do accept 529 payments. Most of them, the families, um, provide the address that I provided, the 1928 St. Mary's Road with the PMB 4600. And so typically families would provide the address, make sure that they include the student's name and ID number on the check. But it's definitely an option that can be used, the 529. So
Great.
yeah, many families, they just coordinate with their 529 account to make sure that that payment is arrived before the August 15th due date.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Our next question is, are there payment plans in spring, or are all the payment are all payments for the year paid in fall? Where are the dates of the spring payments? And if I remember correctly, the spring payments aren't posted until December. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So good question. We do bill on a semester by semester basis. So we're going to send out the fall bill in July with the due date of August 15th. And then it will give you the option for a 5, 4, or 3-month payment plan for the fall. And whichever payment plan you choose, they all end on August 15th. October 15th, because in November, we're going to open up the 5-month payment plan for the spring. So we'll send a notice to the students and any authorized users that the 5-month payment plan for the spring semester will be available in November. And that'll give you 5 months of payments there for the spring. So again, it's a little tricky with the 5-month because we haven't sent out the bill until, as Jessica also mentioned, in December, but we can definitely help you out with the numbers. You do have the bill from the fall. It's never 100% exact, the fall and the spring, because it depends on the classes that the students registered in. There might be some lab or material fees, but it is a good reference to at least get the ball rolling with the 5-month payment plan. And then once you get the official bill in December for the spring, we can always adjust it accordingly at that point. And then if families, and so yes, there'll be a 5, a 4, and a 3-month payment plan for the spring. If the family did not need a payment plan, then it's going to probably be January 15th when the due date for the spring will be.
Wonderful. This student is wondering if, in a case where perhaps they might overpay fall semester, would that just mean that they would have a credit on their account that could be applied in the spring semester?
That's correct. Yeah, you got it. So yeah, if you happen to overpay, you paid, and then all of a sudden you find out that you received maybe a $1,000 scholarship, and that scholarship posts late, and now you've overpaid because you didn't know about the scholarship quite yet, or any scenario like that where you might have overpaid, the funds will just stay in the account and roll over until any other future charges post. You can always request a refund at any point as well by contacting the business office. If the last thing that posts to your account that creates a credit is federal, if it's loans or it's a Pell Grant, that is automatic. So sometimes those won't just stay in your account. We're required to issue you a check for any credit generated from federal aid. But yes, for the most part, the funds will stay in your account, and you can use it for future charges. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. We have some savvy gals over here asking about Jan term. I'm happy people know about Jan term. And to my understanding, Jan term is included in the fall and spring tuition, except if you were to say go on a international or domestic trip. Is that right, Mark?
So the actual Jan term tuition charge is kind of a free class if you're a full-time student for the year. So if you're full-time in the fall, full-time in the spring, then you're not going to receive a tuition charge for that Jan term class. But any lab or material fees that might be associated with that, we bill those charges along with the travel courses that you were mentioning in the spring bill. So any Jan term charges it would be included in the spring bill in December. Yeah, good question. Yeah, Jan.
Yes, we love Jan term.
Yeah.
The student is wondering about when the medical waiver opt-out opens up. This is something that can be found on the student status page. This is the same place where you have the My checklist, and it lists out housing application, register for orientation, and in that checklist, it'll also say submit your health insurance waiver form if you're deciding to go down that route. On that waiver form, it also talks about what requirements we have for you to be able to be waived from the on-campus health insurance. But I believe that's open right now for you to kind of hop onto. And Mark, what was that deadline? Was it August?
Yeah, the medical insurance, yeah, this year, Megan, it may be a little easier to remember. It's yeah, both the bill due date and the medical waiver is going to be August 15th. So August 15th is the due date. The medical insurance waiver, actually, I don't believe it's quite open yet. I think the Health and Wellness Center and the business office, we're working together to get that up and running with this outside company that we use to manage these waivers for us. So but it's definitely coming up close. Definitely by the end of May, it'll be ready. We're hoping more mid-May. So maybe by the 15th, sometime after the 15th, it should be up and running.
Great. Well, we only have a few minutes left, and I know that there were still a few questions, although these did get kind of technical in different situations. So I'm going to share the contact information for the business office that Mark previously shared with us. I'm going to drop that in the chat here. But before I do that, I promised that there would be a trivia question. So here's our trivia question. When you have the answer, please type it into the chat, and the first person to get the right answer will get a St. Mary swag item. So here we go. Drum roll, please. Our dining hall, Oliver Hall, is based on the halls at Oxford University in England. There is definitely a series of movies that came to mind when looking at Oliver Hall. What movies are we referring to? Wow, we have lots of answers here. And it looks like our winner is Isabella Gomez Vidal. Isabella, are you there? Congrats.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Where are you calling in from?
From Fresno, California.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. We'll be in touch about your prize coming your way.
Thank you.
All right, so I have posted it in the chat, the contact information for the business office as well as myself. I may not be able to answer some of these technical questions, but I can definitely point you in the right way. As I mentioned earlier, Mark and I are so grateful that you all decided to come out this evening, and we would be happy to see you at our other events going on. We have these sessions hosted on most Mondays and Wednesdays this month, and in June too, from 5 to 5:30. And so be sure to sign up for those. I know we have one on this Wednesday about housing, and another one later this week that I'm forgetting at the top of my head at this moment. But thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you, Mark, so much for sharing a bit more about the student accounts. And we hope that you all have a great rest of your evening. Take care.
Thank you.